Welcome to another edition of the Insider Spotlight. This week, Texas Tech hosts Arizona State, 7 o'clock here at the Jones. Mighty Joe, how are you doing?
Doing great, man. Ready to get this thing rolling. This is a game that I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech has been looking forward to it as well. And there's a couple of things we each want to spotlight for you to watch for in the game this weekend. Mighty Joe, what's the one thing you really want, you want to spotlight that you're going to be keeping an eye on when Texas Tech and Arizona State squares off?
Well, it's kind of a weird thing because, I mean, during the last, media availability that I was at, one of the guys we were talking to was Cam Batson, and asked him something about the game and what the offense was going to do and this and that. And he said something. He said, we've got a really good game plan ready for these guys. And the way he said it, he was almost laughing. Okay. And then today I see this interview that you did with Madison Akamnanu where he says, we got something cooked up for these guys.
Yeah, he did.
And so something's going on here. Tech has got something up their sleeves. I don't know if it's just offensively or defensively, the whole 9 yards, but I'm just really curious because I think schematically or play calling, we're going to see something that we just didn't expect to see, and Arizona State sure isn't going to expect to see. So I'm curious about the surprise aspect of this. And I hope it's not anything so subtle that we can't pick up on it. Whether the guard is playing one step in or surely it's something a little bit more dramatic than that. But I'm really anxious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, now you have me curious because I didn't know that about Cam. I didn't know that he said that as well. Because I thought it was curious the way, because Madison is not, Akamnanu is very well spoken. I mean, one of the more intelligent, honestly, football players you'll ever come across, but he's not like a boisterous, braggadocious kind of guy. And so when he said that, I was kind of taken aback. Like, I think I said something like, "Oh, good," and then went on to a final question. But that did catch my attention in watching it again. So what do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be like they're going to come with their own Wildcat package, maybe with Mason Reed and line up, who would it be? I guess it may be Nisby in the back. How awesome would that be? Who would be the other blocking back, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to have something to do with the ground game. And I think that this may be a case of sort of giving Arizona State some of their own medicine from what they did last year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Smash Mouth City and instead of throwing the ball 55, 60 times, Tech runs it 40 or something. And it's going to be crazy. It's impossible to think that may happen, but there's just enough kind of odd little stuff floating around. And then with that whole game last year, I don't care what anybody says, that was one that it was traumatic, and it was kind of, I don't know. So anyway, it hasn't been forgotten.
No, and, it really hasn't, Joe. We were there, and what was traumatic about it was that obviously they got ran over. I mean, Kalen Balazs scoring 8 touchdowns, 7 on the ground. I mean, they just ran that Sparky Wildcat formation over and over again. When they weren't doing that, Wilkins was tearing them up. But to me, my spotlight is definitely going to be on the 2 linebackers, Jordan Brooks and Dakota Allen, and just not just them, but how that whole defensive front does against the Wildcat. That is mission number 1. That's everything begins and ends with that. Can Texas Tech stop Arizona State from just running over them like they did last year? And like you said, they haven't been forgotten. That hadn't been forgotten that happened. Now, all of them have downplayed the fact that, because that's what they should do, to be honest. They have downplayed, the revenge factor. But come on, we've heard rumbles here or there. You could tell little inflections of the voice, just the normal cues. And even like Jordan Brooks before the season told us, that was my first eye opener. That was an awakening. I had never experienced anything like that, allowing a team to score that many points. And I think really his whole growth started obviously from there. And, he told me, somebody asked him, it wasn't me, one of the TV guys asked him, did you have any advice for any of the younger guys? And he said, hey, for Rico Jeffers, I did have this one piece of advice. I told him, don't go in there soft. Don't go in there with any soft stuff. When you go in there, hit them square in the mouth, because they have physical offensive linemen and big running backs. So they're fully prepared. They're prepared for the Sparky formation. I believe they're prepared for the athletes, for the type of running attack they're going to face in Arizona State. And honestly, I think they're chomping at the bit to prove that they are a different defense. Now, we don't know. We can speculate. I think you and I are probably as optimistic about them stopping the run as we have been in a long time, if we're being honest. So, but seeing it and believing it are two different things. I believe we're going to see that Saturday. So I can't wait. We're going to find out. Like you said, Joe, we've been waiting a long time. Texas Tech's been waiting a long time. 7 o'clock here at the Jones. Texas Tech hosts Arizona State. Mighty Joe, great stuff from you as always. Thank you all for watching.